Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be slightly different if you couldn't already tell. I'm standing up, I'm ready to go, and that is because I'm going to be showing you guys how I shoot my figure photography. So I put up an Instagram story with a poll on it asking what you guys wanted to see from this channel. This was the winner. So today I'm going to be shooting 2 shots with the Born Again Season 1 DareDevil figure. I'll talk you through the concepts and, you know, the poses and stuff like that. I'll talk you through how I set up my shots. I'll talk you through any kind of tips and tricks I've learned from doing this for a little while. And yeah, it's worth noting that it's going to be screen-based photography, so I might maybe do another one of these in the future using a more standard studio-like setup with a plain backdrop, but for now I'm really feeling the screen photography vibe, so I think that's what I'm going to be doing today. Anywho's, let's jump straight into the video. So for any figure photography I actually do, it's really important for me to start with a vision. I don't always shoot test shots, but for this I thought probably be helpful to show you guys. So here's the shot I took the day before the shoot, and then as you can see I then recreated this same pose in front of the background which I made in Photoshop. Those of you who are big fans of the Netflix Daredevil show will recognize this office as Nelson Page and Murdoch's office. I kind of wanted to create a quiet moment post Foggy's death where Matt returns to the office even though they no longer work there and just reminisces about all the great memories he had with his friend and kind of sits with the guilt knowing that the actions that he does as Daredevil cost him his friend's life. It's quite a heavy topic, but I do think having a vision or a backstory or even just a strong idea at the heart of the figure photography that you're taking is really important. But anyway, the reason I wanted to show you guys this background image is because I wanted to talk to you about motivated lighting. This is, in my opinion, the most important thing to bear in mind when doing screen-based photography. Essentially what I do is just try and identify where the light is coming from, or at least the majority of the light is coming from, and work out how best I can go about recreating it. So there's definitely a light in the ceiling above, and there is a light probably from a window or the street coming in from just off the camera. So that kind of just informs me where I need to put the lights in real life. Given there's 2 main light sources in this photo, I am only going to be using 2 lights. So I'm going to be using these 2 stands and my 2 Pulu's tube lights. I've got them roughly where I think they need to be and at roughly the right color balance, temperature and brightness. In terms of camera equipment I'll be using, I'm not going to go into loads of detail because there is a in-depth video already on my channel going through that kind of thing, but here's just a quick look through at some of the equipment I'll be using, including the tripod. I did notice that the overhead light was a little bit bright, so I raised it slightly just to diffuse it. This next thing is probably the most crucial part of a figure photography shoot for me, and that is focus. It's kind of the one thing you can't really fix in post-production. So my camera allows me to zoom in, I believe it's like ×5, and really check what's in focus, what's not. That coupled with the focus assist, which is the red outline that you see around the figure, makes it quite hard to mess up. I have still messed it up before, but it makes it harder to. I tend to shoot probably 10 to 20 images of the same thing, just because I think sometimes micro judders from the camera can mean things get blurred or out of focus. And here's a trick I've learned from doing this for a little while: always check the SD card before you pack up. I've had images corrupt on me, I've shot stuff and realized it's been slightly out of focus before, so this avoids you having to set up all again. Okay, so moving on to setup number 2, here's the test shot I took last night of the pose being dialed in. This one I actually switched out the gloved hands for Superman's hands. They actually match pretty well, but I just wanted that either pre-battle or post-battle look where Matt Murdoch's come back to his apartment after a night of fighting crime. This shot definitely isn't as heavy subject matter wise, but it is a little bit more complicated setup wise, and it will require a 3rd light, which I will be getting from my small rig set. Again, fans of the Netflix Daredevil show may recognise this image. This is Matt Murdoch's original apartment. And as you can see, there are 3 main sources of light for me to consider. You've got the big window on the right, you've got the window in the bedroom, which is pumping in some purpley blue light, and then you've got any bounce back light which comes from the window, bounces off a wall, and lights the other side of our subject. There's actually 2 reasons I wanted to use my small rig lights. One, because weirdly the Pulu's tube lights don't have that great a purple colour, and 2, I wanted to use the spotlight feature to really dull in the lighting on the side of his face. So here is a setup with all three lights in position. I've got the small rig light serving as the bedroom purple highlight / rim light. I've got a light tube serving as one of the windows, and then I've got the other light tube serving as the bounce light from the wall. So I actually realized that this tube light that was meant to be mimicking the window wasn't actually bright enough, so I had to turn it up a little bit, which is quite rare for me. Don't worry too much about the color not matching the yellow of the window. I can fix that in post. It's more about matching the light sources than the light tone. Check focus, shoot some shots, make sure you're happy, switch the lights off, and check the SD card as I did before. And yeah, as you can see, I shoot a load of images every time I do one of these, but that's what works for me. So anyway, let's see how these turned out. And here you are. I'm really happy with them both, actually. I think the shot in the office could be slightly better. I think that's just kind of to do with the perspective of the screen. Unfortunately, it doesn't tilt forward or backwards, it just tilts to the side. I think if I'd have tilted it to match the angle of the desk slightly better with how he's standing, it would maybe have improved it, but I think it's still good enough for the gram. And the second shot I am absolutely over the moon with. I think this to me looks like how I remember the Netflix Daredevil show. I think the lighting really pops. If you guys want to see these in more detail, you can always go and follow me on Instagram, which I'll put here. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. As I said, I may be doing another one of these in the not too distant future with like a plain backdrop. So one for screen photography, one for just kind of studio style photography. If there's the interest in that, then by all means, I'm happy to do it. If you want to see how I edited these pictures and kind of my post-production process in Lightroom, I have got a video detailing that on the channel. If you want to see a bit more about the equipment I've used to shoot this, I've also got a video for that on the channel. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the not too distant future.